It's time to show off how much of a genius we can be with a Hataaru OTK Mage list. This deck centers around the new legendary Hataaru. However, this isn't going to be your only way to win because you also have access to things like Raylla as a way to swarm up the board. But the main way you're going to win is by comboing Blood Watcher with Hataaru and then refreshing the mana crystals from playing him, thus allowing you to basically play any spell that you randomly generate off of Hataaru really easily without worrying about mana. We also have Champions of Azeroth in this list, which felt incredibly strong, where you can get Velen, Bran, or Antonidas as a way to make your OTK life a lot easier. Since in combination with Blood Watcher, it basically discounts them all down to 1 mana, and then you get a bunch of 1 mana fireballs that can do a bunch of damage there, or just refresh double the mana crystals off of any Draenei you slam down. Now for the Mulligan guide, the most important card to look out for is Infantize the Maxitude. This will allow you to have an infinite resource to generate threats to deal with your opponent's board. Outside of this, the other combination of cards you'll be looking for is Divine Brew in with Raylla. If you see both of these in the starting hand, keep them both. Otherwise, get rid of her. Then you're going to be looking for any other early game minions or cards that will generate you additional cards like Primal Glyph. Now, with that all being said, let's look at some games. Okay, time for a game against Warrior. Let's see what they have in store for us. I will say this, I finally got around to making a mage list, and I've had this Mulligan skin since it came out. When he originally got leaked out with all the cards from the Great Dark Beyond, I was like, man, there are very few characters I'm going to instantly buy up when he comes up for a skin, and Malygos was one of them. Actually, I think this is the first 3D skin besides Cthulhu that I've bought, and probably will remain one of the only ones I buy. I don't know. I just don't like the 3D element too much when it comes. It looks a little bit out of place a lot of the time. But I honestly couldn't pass up on Malygos. Oh, we can go for his Cactus Construct, I guess. See what we can grab. Doomsayer's funny, but let's go with Fated Beetle. Okay, coin into New Heights. Yep, that kind of figures. It's kind of funny to me that when you queue up against Warrior, there's like a 90% chance you're always going to run into New Heights. And that's probably going to be this thing until it rotates out. Turns out Ramp is actually pretty powerful, even if a class doesn't historically have a lot of support for it. It makes me curious if they're going to balance the newer Warrior cards around the fact that it has access to the Druid package, or if they're just going to pretend that they don't have access to it. All right, let's see what we can grab. Flame Geyser is probably the best bet if it can hit. No. What face? We can attack twice. And I guess we can pop it. I don't think that's probably the safest bet, but whatever. Oh, Ham. Please don't hit something powerful. Okay. We can deal with that. That's actually dealable. What are the chances that... Do we just want to AoE the one minion? Honestly, that doesn't sound that bad. But Tide Pool also doesn't sound bad either. Because we can grab Discovery of Magic and hopefully get the... I mean, Malfunction works. I mean, it isn't the greatest, but it at least does enough damage to Ham. I still really want a Ham signature. There's a few signatures that I really want. The fact that I... Okay, so I bought... I can't remember what bundle it was. But it was a bundle with like 2 signatures, and I was like, okay, I mathematically did this correct. Oh, it was 2 signatures and a golden card. I should be guaranteed 8 Hands from Beyond, and then it turns out, no, it rolled the signatures after the golden card, so I didn't get the card that I assumed I was going to get. I got Raylla here instead, which is why we're using it. Honestly, that's half of the reason why she's in the list, but the more that I played around with this list, just having her and Divine Brew is such a good like alternate win condition, just in case. It doesn't come up all the time, but it is nice to just swarm the board with a bunch of really cheap minions, and then making your opponent answer to them. Because it's just a backup win condition, right? This entire deck is just filled with backup win conditions. All of them are not going to come up, that's true. But a good chunk of them can come up, right? I am curious of like what they're exactly doing here, to be fair. Okay, hostile invader. That still doesn't give me any information of like what warrior list this is going to be. Okay. We can slam down the mechanic, but okay. Well, tide pool into discovery of magic, because why not? And then we can use this as a trigger to get frozen over could be interesting. Warped it's either warp drive or frozen over. I think it's warped. We could make them burn a card with frozen over. I kind of want to do that. That seems like probably not the best idea, but not the worst idea. Come on, let's hit something. Cube! Okay, that's interesting. I'm assuming they're dummy warrior then? Okay, attack us. They're thinking. Hydration station. I mean, that does clear out a good chunk of the board. Oh, why did it have to hit that of all things? At least it... This is going to sound weird. At least it isn't Sif. We might still be able to wombo combo things as long as it isn't Sif. But they probably have another hydration station. Reverbs is interesting, but I think it's primordial glyph, right? Can you imagine if we had Ramith in rotation right now? How, like, annoying the card would be? Okay, there's shield block. Okay, I guess we can slam down an Artificer just to slam it down. Come on, give us something good. This... Oh. Okay. Bran is something good. I'm pretty sure it should work with the Artificer. This is just some behind the scenes. This is legitimately the first game I've played with the deck, so I don't know the ins or outs of it yet, for the most part. Shield block. I mean, that didn't matter too much about burning that. Oh, Heat Wave's interesting. Sunset Volley wouldn't be bad, but we would need one more mana for it to be useful. Let's see if we can just spam out a bunch of spells to get a full board. If only we could actually use one, buy one, get one freeze. Oh, we're going to draw 4 if we use that. We won't need to draw 4. I mean, or... We really shouldn't have slammed down Bran. That was probably a mistake. Alright, let's just put a Divine Shield on... Oh, actually, we probably should have done that on Bran. Would have kept him alive for 1 turn. I'm assuming they'll probably just attack into him real quick. Oh! Cute. Rip Bran. Who knows, maybe we can get another Bran off of... I was going to say, I think they realized they can't actually use... Well, I mean, they could have. Oh! If we could actually make space, that's interesting. I know we're probably not going to be able to get enough space for it. But, like... That could be not bad. That could be pretty good for us. We are burning a card if we use that, aren't we? I mean, there's a high likelihood that we're going to burn a card anyways. I kind of want to use Wisdom and see what we can grab. Okay, Miracle. Sif! Okay. Kind of just want to get a card out of our hand. But I don't think it's worth it. We have Sif, so it doesn't really matter. I'm glad we got the Sif in our hand before it became a problem. Okay, we need to get rid of some cards on board so we can actually play some minions. It doesn't matter what we burn. Oh! Okay, maybe it does matter what we burn. Because we should still have a Genius in our deck, I think. Yeah, I guess we can take that. Pop that real quick. Get rid of that minion. What are we eating? Hostile Invader. They still had a minion in deck. Interesting. Well, at least we're not burning anything. or Garrosh's gift. Sorry. There's the brawl. Wait, is this my list? Wait. Hey, I can't pronounce your name. I apologize. But if you're playing my list, hi. Nice to see you. I'm so interested if this is actually what I think it is. Because we can pop this. That does give us access to Artificer. Woo! Which can hit Velen, and then we get Velen for free. We slam down, well, not for free, for 1 mana. We actually have a really cool combo in hand. The one time we'll actually be able to use Sif. So curious if this is mine. It's not every day that I run into a list that I've like made myself. Okay, we can see what we can grab. Oh, that could be fun. I'm trying to use as much mana as humanly possible before we reset our mana here. Slam down Sif. Might as well give it another spell damage. Woo! 20 damage on each individual cast. Well, GG. Oh, 22. Okay, time for a game against Hunter. Let's see what they have in store for us. I know there's a few Hunter decks floating around. The one that I enjoy the most is the one that I just uploaded, which was Grunter Hunter. Or at least out of the meta variants. There is a spicy freeboard list that I have literally delayed by basically 2 weeks at this point. That you'll see Monday. It's recorded, it's edited. I just like this list better. This deck is a very me deck. There are a few me style of lists, and one of the big ones is a lot of spell damage really quickly, or mana cheat, or whatever you want to do it. I don't know. It figures one of my favorite cards is Malygos, hence why I bought this skin, by the way. I don't play much Mage, but you know, I saw Malygos and I couldn't resist. Ooh, we can actually destroy this minion instantaneously. Sorry, I was distracted by the fact that I finally got to use the Malygos skin after a month of owning him. I think actually besides the Cthulhu skin, this is like the first or the only other 3D skin that I was like instantly wanting. The Ragnarok skin is just a little bit too much. Speaking of the Ragnarok skin, you know, what are your opinions on the fact that we're getting another Ragnarok skin at like basically 50% the price of the original? I don't know if that discount's going to be if you only already exist or own the first one, which I don't. And if it is, then it's still not worth it to me. Ragnaros is just not a character. Like, I know he's iconic, but he's just not worth it. Okay, so how are we doing this? We probably want to try to spam out as many minions as possible. Or spells of, different types. That is a one that we could use. Use that there. Use a Divine Brew. Why not? Use all 3 Divine Brews. Get rid of the Observer just because I don't want to deal with it. Okay, there's Mixologist. This is basically just Token Hunter, by the way. I know Token Hunter is actually kind of popular right now. I don't think it's a bad deck. It is just another example of... Well, at least this one's using new cards. I was going to say, it's just like Hand Buff Hunter, where it's existed for so long at this point that I'm kind of getting sick of it. But at least this deck is using new cards. Meanwhile, Hand Buff Hunter, Hunter. Paladin is not. Like, I am so sick and tired of that deck. I don't think there's any deck in Standard right now that I'm more sick of. Also, I'm curious if my rants of Hand Buff Hunter will, or Paladin, will make it into multiple games, because there's quite a few games that I have in theory planned for this video. I don't know which one's going to make it in, so we might be covering the same subjects a few times. Whoops. Okay, so we don't have an easy way to deal with all the minions. Wisdom, we can draw a few cards, and oh, champion isn't bad. Star power for next turn, if we survive, that is. I guess we can draw more cards. Oh, Divine Brew could keep us alive. How do we want to do this? I kind of want to use Divine Brew and then like shuffle a card into our deck. Okay, that's actually a really good top deck. That's actually a really nice top deck. Okay, we're alive. Oh, no, 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 no. Please don't tell me you have game here. Oh, please don't tell me you have game. Oh, that could be bad. How low are we going to be? We're going to be at, what, 5 HP? Oh, I would have loved to have that. At least we can destroy most of the board here. Get rid of everything. Okay, we're good. Good, we're good, we're good.
I found a sea urchin.
Okay, messenger buzzard ×2. Interesting. What other beasts could they be running? Let's grab Light Show. Come on, hit the... How are you just hitting the face? How is this just face? Like, face is not the place that we want to see. Actually, I guess they're probably running Hollowed Hound. So they might have 2 Hollowed Hounds in hand right now if... yeah, this might not be a bad plan. I think we have to just kind of wing it next turn. Like, I don't want to, but I think we have to, right? We could try to survive another turn at 5 HP. Not true. That was not how you pronounce that card's name. Definitely not at all. Okay, give me mana sheet. Go, go, go. Hey! Actually, perfect. Counterspell for 0 or 1. Chaos Creation? Why not? Freeze them out. And then see if we can get anything else. Hey, let's go. Okay, temporary gaming against Druid. Let's see what they have in store for us. Okay, we're just going to slam this down. This should be a slower matchup, so we should be able to pull off some fun stuff here, in theory.
We have a problem.
Okay, there's new fights. We can just go face. Oh, that's actually not bad. Oh, fun. Gonna grab the cheapest spell, just because we can, and we can flood the board too with it. Okay, there's Discovery of Magic. Maybe we can discover something fun. I'm gonna grab Primordial Glyph. Another Sea Breeze, might as well. Okay, there's Tae'thelan Traveler. Void Scripture. Let's down some, or slam down Riley. We'll see how this one goes. Just flood the board. Actually, for Druid, this will probably be difficult for them to actually deal with, which is nice. Nice for us, not nice for them, I should say. Okay. Let's see what we can discover. Oh, Valin. That's not bad.
That one needs a turn to get ready.
Perfection.
Okay. Acupuncture isn't technically what I would want to grab here, but I think it should be fine.
Job done.
Stop and smell.
There's Traveler. That instantly gets destroyed. I'm amazed they didn't attack into our spider here, because it could have cleared out 2 minions instead of just 1, but okay. I will say this. There's actually another card that I almost considered including which is audio amplifier. But I ended up forgetting about it, and space in this deck is actually quite tight. So I would love to be able to get away with it, but 90% of the time you just can't. Actually, sadly enough, the namesake of the deck doesn't come up as much as some of the other OTK paths in the list. I think this might be a classic not trying to do too many things at the same time, where it makes it a little bit hard to do the things that I really want to mean to do with the deck. I could swipe the board. Like, I really wanted to do something with the Hataaru, but it ended up becoming more of a, we get Prophet Valen, and then OTK using, like, Antonidas and such, which I think, actually, this is going to be another one of those games where that's going to happen. We actually probably had game there, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh no, we need one more mana to do exactly what I wanted to do with it. But yeah, maybe I should title this like Blood Watcher Mage instead, because no, like algorithmically that's going to do bad because of the word blood in the title. Sucks that I have to think about things like that. In theory, you can actually OTK really easily with with the other stuff too, but it just depends on like how your RNG all racks up. And it turns out 1 mana fireballs that do 24 damage to face usually win you the game. Alright, now that we're through the games, let's discuss my final thoughts of the deck. So, I played 30 games with the deck and ended up with a 45% win rate, which was around where I originally expected it to. One thing worth mentioning in this list, or at least 2 things, Typool and Sif are cards that I could almost see cutting if you want to be more consistent with the Hataaru or Champion of Azeroth win conditions. I just kept this in because it increased the odds of getting something potent off of Champions of Azeroth. But honestly speaking, this feels like a really good deck for such a card. You can use 3 out of the 5 possibilities really easily, and they all allow you to easily OTK your opponent. Hataaru feels like he's still missing something, but I do think the combination between Bloodwatcher and him is really unexplored in the current Hearthstone community, and honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if we see some type of deck between these two happen by the time the mini set comes out. Raylla also was a really incredible card, and it gave me an excuse to use the signature rare of her. Overall, though, if you're looking for a deck for Hataaru or even Bloodwatcher, this is a great one for you to try out. You might not win all the games, but, you know, it does rely a little bit on RNG. Like always, though, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you haven't, turn on the notifications. I try to upload 3 times a week. And until next time, bye-bye.